which we belong to. It has historical connections. But also I need to indicate that we might meet you at the rugby finals. Just in passing. France it's one of the teams, countries that in rugby they are quite formidable. But also in soccer, they have one of the strongest teams. But also the beauty of it is how France has accommodated African development. You know, they've developed Africa in terms of also of sports. So there are a lot of African players that originate from the continent who are playing. They're trained in France, which is a good thing. So on behalf of the press club, with the permission of the executive, we want to thank you very much for inviting us here. I might come from the government communications sphere, but my colleagues in the National Press Club are the soldiers on the ground. Through them, we are able to inform the country, the continent, and the world about issues that happens in South Africa. So they are quite a very important stakeholder in terms of reflecting on issues that are affecting us. And I don't think it's a press conference. We are not going to talk about what's happening somewhere. But that would be very interesting also to get, you know, to interact with the ambassador on some of the issues. So we are looking forward to a long-lasting relationship where on a regular basis we'll interact, and also to make sure that as and when the embassy has certain issues that they might want to put, the colleagues from the National Press Club will always be available to avail themselves to resources to say, let us engage. So on that basis, let me also indicate that in the African culture, when you hold someone and there is a rain in WhatsApp away. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Baloyi. Without
in life, I used to be the spokesperson of the French president, and I know how important it is to interact with the press. It was great news, and it is exactly the same here as it is in any other country. Rain brings food, as you asked. I'm just kidding, of course. We will, that's not a priority. It's not in my head. And by the way, I think it's nice that we can still South Africa in this just energy transition. By just, we mean that we absolutely understand the moment more and more difficult, more and more serious. And especially here, we were talking about the rain. We know what are the challenges. To finance these kind of activities anymore, we know that, and we're happy and we're prepared to accompany South Africa on her terms. We build more business streams between around, what was the number? I think it was around 65,000 employees currently in the country by French companies. And we want to keep on developing. I think our country is, from an economic standpoint and also from a tourism standpoint. And to my colleagues, Hélène, and that there is a huge potential, not only on the shore, but also inside the territory to have that I can tell you that we are always extremely impressed to see how South Africa basically has invented the concept of protection of biodiversity. And we're in France, notably to go skiing or to go to Paris, Marseille, other places. And we believe that travelers from around the world can keep on going. French companies, French touristic companies can play a key role. Having said that, of course, we have great projects in terms of cultural and creative industries. I was yesterday in, I see such an incredible creativity. I see fantastic young talents, and we are happy to help them get some more skills, some more sophisticated skills, notably when it comes to video games, when it comes to animation movies. And really I saw a lot of talent. And I told them yesterday that obviously they need to stick to their dreams, they need to stick to the place, this incubator, because I see potentially a new industry looming in South Africa when it comes to cultural and creative industry, and notably when it comes to, again, video games and animation, and all digital innovation. We talked about that TV show that you will see soon on Showmax. I don't have any share at Showmax, but I want you to know that it's a French, South African production, which tells a South African story, a story that is located in Lavender Hill, Cape Town. Okay, it's Cape Town, but still in South Africa, right? and I tell you, you will love it. You will love it. It's a fantastic show with a great production value, with money involved, meaning great scripts, great stories, great actors, great cast, great music. You will love it. And I'm mentioning Spinners because yesterday during this festival, which is called Fakugezi, and I have been in the country for more than 4 months now, so I know exactly what Fakugezi means in Zulu, right? It means something like electrify, right? So basically, we were taking care of load sheddings yesterday at Shimolochon. That really, there was that contest that started yesterday to try and see with local talents what kind of video games could be imagined and produced around this TV show. And I believe that the best one would be picked, and that a new video game could do to open markets to help train those young animators, those young video games producers, and we will keep on doing that. I have been told many South African players have joined the French Championship, right? The last one being Sia Colisi, who will play at the Racing 90. And he said, well, I can't do his accent, but I will just give you the quote. He said something like, well, I was told that top 14 was that I can finish on. So thank you very much for coming, and I wish you a nice evening.
Thank you, His Excellency. One can tell you've been around for some time. The mere fact that you can even pronounce Simolochong, for instance. So yes, moving on to our next speaker, but before I do, today's captions, feel free to tag us. Our next speaker is from the Reunion Island Tourism, and his name is
India and in the area in the Indian Ocean. So I have a quick time to make you a presentation. So Reunion Island is a French island. We are situated between Madagascar and Mauritius, only 4 hours by plane from Johannesburg. And so we are French, European, and the currency it's euro, and the capital of. One thing important, when you want to go to Paris, you have to ask a visa, but exceptionally for Réunion Island, you don't need a visa. It's free visa for a citizen. And from Réunion Island, and in the north, we have the capital with the international airport. One point important here, at the beginning, nobody was living there. So, as I told you, we are classified UNESCO, and that's three pictures about the caldera, the three caldera I took at the beginning. Sillaos is one of the best places in the world to practice canyoning. In the south, the volcano, the Piton de la Fournaise, and on the west coast, all the lagoon is preserved. It's a marine reserve, so you can practice snorkeling in the lagoon, and 350 different kind of fish, including the turtles, and more than 150 different kind of coral. When you are so close with the whales, because the particularity also the whales in Réunion Island are very curious. You don't have to follow them. Everything is done not to disturb them. In Réunion Island, so you must know that the best way to discover the island is to rent a car at the airport and move by yourself. All the infrastructure in Réunion Island are at the same level like in France. So you are in France, all the things people like in France, you will find it in Réunion Island with a Creole touch. So everywhere you will go, you will find natural pool, waterfalls, lagoon, and you can swim, make a stop, make a picnic, and have a swim in this natural pool. And there is no danger. There are no dangerous animals in Réunion Island. On the west coast, you will find the most beautiful beaches, white sand beaches and black sand beaches. Population come from East Africa, West Africa, Madagascar, India, China, Pakistan, and Europe. And the particularity is everybody live all together. So in the same family, you will find Chinese, Indian, African, European. So all the religions are present in Réunion Island. So mostly people are Christians, but they can go on Sunday to the church. On Monday, they can go to the Tamil temple, Chinese temple, Indian temple, Buddhist temple. So it's totally normal to have minimum 2 or 3 religions in the same family. So, as you can imagine, there's no fight between the ethnies, because in each family, you have the different ethnies in the same family. So everybody live in a perfect harmony. Of African, Indian, Chinese, European food, so very good food. There's few ideas what looks like. They are looking for something different. Usually but now more and more they come to Réunion Island because they are looking for something different. They want to be close to one of the most active volcanoes in the world, and there's no danger. And all the tourists now they want to practice this activity. In the water, so inside in the mountain, we have a lot of rivers, and sailing, and many other activities. Also very popular, all the activity in the air, paragliding, very popular. You can practice paragliding all the year long. That's why we have international competition each year in Réunion Island. Very famous, the helicopter fly, which gives you the opportunity to discover the large diversity of landscape from by ultralight plane. About accommodation of hotel, so you must know that nobody stays in the hotel. Go in other destinations like Seychelles, Mauritius. Now decide to come to Réunion Island because it's a new destination, and we offer all the activities for
Johan. Johan is already an accredited journalist for the Olympics, and we're very happy to have him here today with us. The others are at the World Cup. Okay, that's what I'm not here to. So we're looking at from the 26th of July to the 8th of September, those two competitions, the Olympic and the Paralympic Games. And it's going to be a very inclusive games. And in fact, it's the first time ever that the two logos are put together. That's one of the signs of the inclusivity, the importance for these games to be completely inclusive. So we'll have one overseas region. So what is also amazing about the Olympics is the fact that it's the old and the new. And what France has really made sure of, Paris itself is reinventing itself, right? So we are making the Seine clean. We are going to have the most amazing to watch it. So here we are. It's 206 countries. I'm not throwing numbers at you, but I think it's very interesting to understand the importance of this event. 32 Olympic sports and 22 Paralympic, 869 competitions. We were talking for the World Cup of 48 matches, so we're completely on a different scale here, and 15,000 athletes, 3 billion viewers, 20,000 journalists, as I was saying, 45,000 volunteers. You could, register and become a volunteer to help for the competition. 13 million tickets will be sold, and because you can have this presentation, I will send it to you. And it's more detailed. So, what we are doing is to make sure that people enjoy Paris, enjoy France, and we are just making sure that the image of France is grown, obviously, with the event. So as a tourism board, we are organizing or inspiring people. This is my job, to inspire people to go to France, to inspire them to stay a bit longer, to inspire them to discover more. This is what's going to happen during that's not working anymore. Oopsie. So just a few things that what you will be doing in France. The movie clip. Do you think it's going to work?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So I just want to show you the. And there we are.
Nice.
There we are. That's a beautiful video. I am very sorry, but it's not working. I'm sorry about that. Going to France, back. And going to Reunion Island, and Stefan did a great presentation. I'm very also lucky to be able to promote Reunion Island to South Africans. So I love my job, and thank you very much to all for supporting France as a tourist destination. I will say no more. Thank you very much. Sorry about that.